Hooking you in from the jump, Sigourney Weaver's Colonel Watt isn't just a blink and you miss it cameo. She's being positioned as a key piece in a much bigger rebel puzzle, and yes, that means Leia's long game might be more interconnected than we expected. I'm going to break down what this could mean for the Mandalorian and Grogu, why Watt's history with Leia matters, and how this fits into the larger Star Wars tapestry we've seen unfold on screen and in the books. Let's dive in with a fresh take that goes beyond the trailers and press buzz. First big idea, Watt isn't a one-off mission giver. There's a quiet tease that she represents a thread connecting fresh events to the old rebel core. What this really signals is that the New Republic's security posture isn't just about immediate threats, it's about continuing the war's unfinished business. Personally, I think the filmmakers are signaling a return to continuity, showing that even after the Death Star's fall, the galaxy's power dynamics are messy, fragile, and driven by veteran leadership. What makes this really interesting is how it reframes Watt's role from police pilot in the big mission to a veteran strategist in the post-war era. If Watt goes back to Leia and company, she could serve as a bridge between classic heroes like Mon Mothma and Hera Syndulla and the newer cast. From my perspective, that's a clever way to stitch together generations of rebels without rehashing old stories. It also sets up Watt as a potential mentor or elder stateswoman figure who has seen the uglier sides of this conflict and still believes in rebuilding. Second idea, Watt's backstory hints at a wider female leadership network. Filoni mentions a cadre that includes Leia, Holdo, Hera, and Mon Mothma. This is less about individual heroics and more about a governance of resistance, women who've shaped strategic outcomes through wartime and peacetime. One thing that immediately stands out is how this positions female leadership as a through line across decades of Star Wars, not a single arc. What this suggests is a deliberate reclaiming of the rebels as a durable, institutional force capable of resilience beyond singular battles. From my point of view, this matters because it reframes the Rebel Alliance as an ecosystem rather than a lineup of marquee names. It could unlock stories about diplomacy, covert operations, and interstellar governance that have felt missing since the original trilogy. A detail I find fascinating is how Watt's role could illuminate how these leaders collaborated, debated, and sometimes clashed, especially when the Imperials still had uneven pockets of power. Third idea, this setup invites expanded lore through novels, comics, and potential cross-media crossovers. If Watt's history is rich enough to warrant backstory, we are likely to see retcons of fresh canonical material that fills gaps in Leia's era, without stepping on Ahsoka's arc or any current storytelling boundaries. In my opinion, this is a smart move to keep the Star Wars universe expanding without overloading current films. If you take a step back and think about it, you can see how storytelling across formats allows for a layered mythology where each medium can deepen a character's mythology in a controlled way. What this really suggests is a larger trend, synergy between big-screen storytelling and expanded universe content that feels cohesive rather than siloed. A single character like Watt can anchor cross-media narratives, giving fans a through line to chase across books, comics, and future series. A detail I find fascinating is how this can empower fans to speculate responsibly about timelines, alliances, and the hidden layers of the era, while still delivering cinematic excitement. Deeper insight, the timing is telling. The Mandalorian and Grogu unfolds in a galaxy where the Empire has fallen in a sense, but Imperial remnants linger. That's a setup for a long tail of political intrigue, not just space battles. What this signals to me is a potential shift from immediate threats to the architecture of power in the post-war galaxy. If Watt is connected to Leia and the broader leadership, we could be looking at a narrative that explores how the New Republic negotiates with rogue factions, how they rebuild trust with former enemies, and how governance is tested when old loyalties fray. From my vantage point, this raises a deeper question: will Watt represent the quiet, steady diplomacy that often goes unseen in blockbuster cinema, or will she embody the iron will of a battle-tested commander who knows when to pull the trigger? Both are plausible. The real payoff will be how the script chooses to reveal her philosophy under pressure. What people don't realize is that leadership in this period isn't just about victory in a single fight, it's about constructing a durable political order that can survive future escalations. The bigger trend here is Star Wars embracing governance as drama, not just gunfights. Closing thought, this approach reframes almost every expectation about future Star Wars storytelling. If Watt's backstory connects to Leia and a network of female leaders, we might be looking at a tapestry that weaves in real-world questions about coalition building, memory, and legitimacy after a long, hard war. A question I'm asking myself, and I'll pose to you: what does it mean for Din Djarin and Grogu if they're not the sole carriers of hope, but part of a broader constellation of veterans guiding a galaxy trying to heal? If you're excited to see how Watt's legacy could ripple through future stories, drop a comment with which rebel leaders you'd like to see intersect with Din and Grogu. Do you want a direct Leia tie-in, or are you more curious about how a younger generation interacts with this elder network? Personally, I think the possibilities are wide, and the best is yet to come.